Hi everyone, this is Sudarshan. So today we are going to see about one of the DevOps tool, which is very famous tool, that is Jenkins. So we'll see about the basics of Jenkins, and also we'll see about uh, how to connect master and slave using Jenkins. So by doing this, we can do some automations like we can deploy some codes to the slave nodes. Okay. So first we'll see about what is Jenkins. So Jenkins is a continuous integration and build tool. So mostly in the current DevOps project or the current IT industry, people use Jenkins to deploy the codes from GitHub, and they'll deploy either in EC2 instance, like directly in cloud or in Docker containers. So Jenkins is mostly used for automation purpose and for the continuous integration purpose, and it is an open source tool which is written in Java. So why Jenkins? So Jenkins supports all plugins. So mostly like plugins like sometimes we'll have a job to integrate JIT. We'll get a job to integrate SonarQube, so Maven. So these services, like, we'll use plugins to integrate them to Jenkins. So it supports all the plugins, and we have good community support. So whenever we face some issues, we have a separate community to support us. Jenkins is very fast. Jenkins works in any OS. It works comfortably in Windows as well as it works comfortably in Linux. Jenkins is a scripted based build. So through this scripted based build, we can write a pipeline in script itself. So now we'll see a small demo. In this demo, which includes how to install a Jenkins in the master server and how to control a slave from the master server. Slave means like which will be in another Linux machine. So for this demo, the prerequisites are: create two EC2 instances, okay, so one is going to be our master and the next server is going to be our slave. Okay, so in this master, we are going to install the Jenkins and we are going to control or deploy some codes in slave server. So launch instance, Amazon Linux. I'm selecting T2 micro. So here I'm selecting two machine counts, add storage. So default HTTP is enough for us as of now. So the tag I'm going to give Jenkins hyphen configure security groups. So in this security group, let me get a new security group here. We need 4 different ports to be enabled. The name like test hyphen Jenkins is my SG. SH is needed for Linux communication. And I need HTTP for web hosting. Like Jenkins, like we'll see the graphical user interface in web only. And I'm going to add all ICMP just to check the ping response. And finally, we are going to add a custom TCP rule, which is the Jenkins port, which is 8080. Okay, these 4 ports are needed. Review and launch, and select your keeper. So we are going to name it as Jenkins master and Jenkins slave. So by this time they are ready. So first we'll connect the master server. EC2-US here. Advanced settings. I'm going to add my key. So actually, I'm using an interface called MobaXtem. So we can directly get this from the internet. So normally people use PuTTY or Super PuTTY for the Linux communication. So I'm using MobaXtem for Windows. Yeah, so you need to download the portable edition. So don't go with the install edition. We just need only the portable edition. Okay, so here we'll get an interface like session SSH and give your public IP. The username is default username is ec2-us here. In advanced settings, use private key. Select your the temp file and in bookmark let me give master. Okay. So once the master is connected, switch to root. Okay, set a hostname control, set hyphen hostname master. Okay, now switch to master. So first, let us flush the default IP tables. IP tables are Linux inbuilt firewalls. Okay, once it is done, we'll install the Jenkins software. So I have the software here. First, we need to install the Java, which is Java and Java hyphen table. So while it is installing, we'll connect the slave node. Okay, so here also we are going to give hostname control set hyphen hostname slave. Okay, and we'll install the same Java package. So if you are new to Linux, I'm having all the commands in my Git repository, which will be Sudarshan LNX Jenkins command. So I will give the link in the description for accessing these commands. Okay, so it will be very easy for you to do the master slave practical. So wait for some time. So while it is installing, I'll give an idea like how Jenkins are mostly used in the environment. So mostly like developers develop the code and they will add the code in Git repository. Okay, so we can integrate the Git repository to Jenkins. So all the codes will be maintained by Git. From Git, we can push the code to Jenkins. So Jenkins is used to deploy the code to the environments. So environments like it can be any environment. Okay, so now the famous environments are like cloud, Kubernetes, or Docker. Or Docker or Kubernetes. So whatever we do the commit in Git, right? So that commit will be directly triggered by Jenkins to these environments. So now we are seeing a deployment in the cloud. So the master server is ready now. So we are going to import some repositories. This is the Jenkins repository, and I'm going to install Jenkins after this. Okay, now you can directly install yum install Jenkins-y. So don't do the same thing in slave. So this is the main master server. This will take a while. Okay, so now we can start the service. Systemctl start Jenkins, and we can enable the service. This enable command is used to permanently enable the Jenkins. So even if you reboot the machine, so the service will not go down. Okay, so now we are going to make a communication between the master and slave. Okay, so they should do the handshake between each other. So the first step is copy the two IP addresses of master and slave. Okay, so master IP is this one. Open a notepad and give space, give master, and come to slave. Copy the IP address, slave. Okay, copy both the IP address and go to the file called va/etc/host. So here we need to mention the two IP addresses and the host names. So it will be easy for them to do the handshake. Paste it, save it. Okay. So now we need to enable the password authentication in SSH. Okay. So by default, Amazon Linux, the password authentication will be no. We need to enable it. va/etc/ssh sshd_config. So go to this file, search for password. Okay, so here it is no, just give S. So then only we can log into the machines using password and go search for public key authentication and remove the command. Okay, even with key authentication also it should work. Okay, now give systemctl restart SSD. So do the same thing here. SSD_config. Search for password. So here give S and search for public key authentication. Pub key is SSH public key, and do the same thing. Systemctl restart SSHD. Okay. So now we enabled the password authentication and pub key authentication. So since Jenkins is installed, right? So go to the URL in the browser, copy your Jenkins public ID and give 8080. So we need to do some basic installation steps in the website. So while it is loading, we need to do the handshake between them using the username. Okay. So once you install the service, you will get a default user called Jenkins, which will be under cat/etc/password grub Jenkins. Okay. So this is the username, but it has been created directly from the service. So that's why it is having no shell, which is the shell is false. Okay, but default shell will be bin/bash. Okay, since we are going to control everything with Jenkins user, I'm going here, we will not have the Jenkins user because we didn't install the Jenkins service here. Password grub Jenkins. Okay, so we are going to add it manually. User add Jenkins and password Jenkins. So give a very easy password. Okay. So now add the same thing in sudo rs file. So since we are going to execute some admin level commands from the Jenkins, so this account should have sudo rights So add the same line here. Instead of root, change it to Jenkins, and also give no password here, because from Jenkins, if we try to execute, it should not ask for password. Okay, so for reference, you can check other commands in this sudo rs file. Okay, now save this. Okay, Jenkins is added in the sudo rs file. So now we are going to do the final level of handshake. Okay, before that, yeah, it's still getting ready, no problem. So since it doesn't have a shell access, right? So we need to log into the user using switch Jenkins, the username, and give -s/bin/bash. Okay, so now we'll get a terminal. Like manually, we are adding the bash terminal here. So here, create a key for this ssh-keygen. Why we are doing this? Like from master to slave, I should not have any password. So I'm going to create a passwordless authentication from master to slave. So give ssh-keygen. Press enter, enter, enter. Okay, now copy this ID to the slave machine. The command will be ssh-copy-id-i. Just directly give the slave, because we already added the slave entry in our host file. Okay, now give S and give first time you can give the password to copy the file. So now if you directly try with SSH slave, yeah, we directly logged in without any password. So this is what we need to achieve. So with this, we completed the practical things in the Linux box. Okay, and one more thing, since we copied the public key, right, we need to take a note of the private key, which will be under exit, go to cat/var/lib/Jenkins. Okay, because by default, the home directory of this service account will be in /var/lib/Jenkins SSH and ID_RSA. So this is the private key. Just copy this private key and save it in a notepad as of now. So I'll tell you where we need to use the private key. Obviously, it will be in the Jenkins console, but I'll tell you in which step. So here the home directory will be so here the home directory is var/lib Jenkins. That's why we took the file from there. In case if he doesn't know, or if you forget the home directory, you can give this command. But in slave, the home directory will be different, right? /home Jenkins, because it is a manually created Jenkins user. Okay, we'll wait. Okay, so now it is asking the password for unlocking Jenkins. So even it is giving the path for the first time. Okay, so go to the master, give cat and paste the path. You'll have the one-time password. Save the password, give the password here, continue this. So now it is giving two options to install the plugins. So I'll go with the suggested plugins. Okay, if you want to customize this, you can select the select plugins. But in suggested plugins itself, we'll get the default and important plugins. See, we'll have pipeline plugin, we have Git, we have LDAP, we have SSH, we have GitHub branches, and all the important plugins. Like it is getting installed by default. So this will take some time. Let me pause the video for some time until it gets completed. So almost all the plugins are installed now. So now it will ask for an additional username. Okay, so since if we miss the existing username, it is for an additional backup. So let us give admin, give some default password. Again, admin at example.com. Okay, save and continue. So almost done. So now the main Jenkins UI will be started. Okay, so here we can create a job using new tab. So I'll explain all these options in our DevOps session. Okay, so now we'll see only for how to add the slave node. So go back here to add the slave node, select manage Jenkins. So here select manage nodes. Okay, by default master node will be there because we installed Jenkins in the master node. So here select new node, give the name slave, permanent agent, select OK. The description we can give the same slave. What is executor? Number of executor means number of parallel jobs we can run. So if I give two, it will run two jobs at a time. Remote directory, we all know the remote directory /home/Jenkins user in the slave machine. Labels against same slave. And here I'm going to select launch agents via SSH because we are going to communicate everything using SSH. In this host, just paste your slave host name. We already copied that in the notepad. Paste your slave node. And this is the main thing. In this credential, we need to give the private key. That is why I copied the private key. Select add Jenkins. Here, don't give username password. Sometimes it will not work. Okay. So give with username with private key. So this will be very easy. Just give Jenkins and select enter directly. Add the private key value. Now go to your notepad and copy the private key. Save it. The thing what I mentioned, like sometimes if they change the password, that will be very difficult to maintain the username and password. So go with key file. Select add Jenkins. That's it. Okay. So now select save. So it will start installing the agents inside the slave. So to see the progress, you can select slave. Here you can see the log informations like what is happening in the slave machine. If we do any mistake, like we'll get the SSH connection timeout or something. Okay. So then we need to carefully see what mistake we did, like doing the such handshaking or copying the public key to the slave machine. So those things we need to check. So I think almost everything is okay. So since we don't have any SSH errors, so go back to the nodes. We'll see whether the into mark has been removed. So now the into mark has been removed. So slave is connected. So this is how you can connect any machine as a slave to Jenkins. Now we'll run a job in Jenkins. Okay, to run a job, select new item. So here let us give slave-job. Okay, freestyle project. So that will be a very like normal project. So now we are going to configure what we are going to deploy in the environment. So here, like we'll discuss all these options later in the session. Select just restrict where this project can be run. It should be run in the slave. Select slave. Okay. And scroll down, go to build. Just 2 steps only we do here. In this build, execute shell. Okay. Yeah. So here we are going to execute some basic steps whether to see whether this Jenkins is controlling the slave machine. It is deploying the changes in the slave machine. So give sudo. Since we are using Jenkins user, we need to use sudo / let us give Jenkins project folder. Okay, we are going to create from here and sudo touch. Using this command, we are going to create Java files 1 to 100 files. Okay, now we are going to copy the 100 files to Java start2 / Jenkins project. Okay, and now like we can use other commands also like dffms to want to see the disk space kind of thing. Okay, fine. So we did only 2 changes. We created a job, we restricted it to work only on slave, and we gave what needs to be deployed in slave. Okay, so let me create a duplicate tab. Sudo -i, go to /ls-ltrh. So there is no Jenkins project folder now. So after this deployment, we'll see whether the Jenkins project folder is creating or not. Apply, save. Okay, now you give build now and wait for some moment. So here the build has been successful. Okay, if you get a green like tick mark, it means the build is successful. Okay, see what are the things executed. So even as we mentioned, the disk usage is also it is showing. So go here. Now give the same ls-ltrh. See the Jenkins project has been created. Okay, we need to go inside Jenkins project and see whether the files are created or not. See the Java files are created. Okay, so this is how you can connect any slave to Jenkins and you can control from the terminal itself, like from the web console itself. Okay, you don't need to execute anything in the Linux machines directly. Okay, so this is one of the deployment. And please subscribe to our channel, and if you want to have like if you need to have any inquiry, like you can contact this number, and this is our website. So thank you so much.